In the silence and tranquility of the early morning, as we comfortably snuggled peacefully under our toasty covers, the draft of the cool air gently swept over me as my husband Desmond removed the covers and slowly came out of our warm bed to make his routine check on Aaron. I wasn't bothered because this was something that he routinely did every night. So without much effort, I immediately drifted back to sleep. It felt like only seconds after my body had given into the weariness that I recalled Desmond busting open our bedroom door and a look of utter fright and panic on his face as he shouted, "Baby, wake up! Call 911." These words that continued ringing in my head like an echo, reverberating in the empty room some 9 years later. The words that changed our lives forever. The morning after Mother's Day, May 12, 2014. I was between sleep and wake when I heard those words from my husband. Everything outside was motionless, dark, and the sky sparkled with stars as if it was refusing to give way to the dawn of a new day. A few hours before, we had all celebrated Mother's Day with our families. It was a jubilant time, but now our 11-year-old son Aaron was lying in his bed, unresponsive, and my husband and I feared the worst, but we believed for a miracle. Words are woefully inadequate to express the absolute terror, the hopelessness, and powerlessness I felt at that moment. As I followed my husband to Aaron's room, I felt like I was experiencing cardiac arrest. I could feel the quick rhythm of my heart beating through my chest. I was walking down the hallway without effort. It felt like I was floating. I couldn't appreciate the weight of my body. I couldn't feel my feet that carried me. All I can remember, I was moving. Although the journey was short, Aaron's whole life flashed before me. I didn't know what to expect, but my heart was thumping rapidly, and my legs felt like they were going to give way as I sprinted the short distance. When I entered the room, Aaron was just lying there as if he was peacefully sleeping. For a brief moment, I stood beside his bed in shock, frozen in fear, refusing to accept the scene before me. I immediately took my phone to call 911, but the tears were flowing so heavily like a river in high tide that my screen was wet and I couldn't successfully make the call. I wiped the screen, tried to compose myself, and made the call. Simultaneously, Desmond started administering CPR, and he was trying to find a pulse, but to no avail. I thought to myself, this cannot be happening. This must be a bad dream or a scene from a movie. Was this really happening, or was I dreaming? All I can recall is Desmond nervously saying, "Baby, pray, pray, pray." There was no time for the usual prayerful preambles. This was an emergency. I went straight into speaking in tongues and reminding God of every scripture on healing I had hidden in my heart. It was at that moment I could identify with T.D. Jakes when he described his emotional state after discovering that his 13-year-old daughter, Sarah, disclosed that she was pregnant.